So we got a 2015 BMW 428i. This is the one that has the front control module. That's bad on it. I'm waiting for a part to come in from eBay. We're going to program and encode it. But there are some other updates we can do on this car. So what we got is our battery maintainer power supply hooked up. We got it set 14.3 volts because I believe Beamers you have to be over 13 volts. So coming over here, I got my Autel Ultra hooked up. I got key on engine off. I got my VCMI plugged in over there, which you can see in there. Yep. And then I'm going to go to diagnostics, go to auto VIN, so we can auto ID it. The glare pretty bad. I'll shut the light off real quick. Hit OK. I don't want any pre or post reports. So now, what I'm going to do, there's the VIN. I'm going to hit OK. It's going to decode the VIN. Sorry about the glare. You have to see my ugly face. And my ugly buddy's face. And he's actually uglier than I am, which is hard to believe. Maybe not. I was joking. I'm the ugly one. Anyway, so, told me to turn the key off. Hang on. I'm going to turn the key on. There we go. So it's establishing comm to the vehicle. We're using the BMW program. Again, this is the Maxxis Ultra with the VCMI. The VCMI is a J2534 compliant pass-through as well. So you can do a full system scan, which I have in other videos. But we're going to go to programming. Read all this. Well, tells you what you should set your voltage at. Do not exceed 14.2. We can adjust your voltage down. Read. I've already read through this. But make sure everything's set up correctly. Got the VCMI hooked up to the car, to the tablet. Strong internet connection. No Wi-Fi. You got to use the cable when you're doing programming, because this will program on the BMWs and the Mercedes from the tablet. Previous session was fun. I'm hit no, so we can start over to show you where we're at. Alright, so this is information for the car. You can edit this if you needed to. I don't know why you would want to. We're going to hit OK because we never changed nothing. You can establish COM. And we're under the programming tab. I'm going to pause this while this catches up. Alright, so now it says in the next step, the diagnostic tool will communicate with all control modules, units, and figure out their program status. Process may last several minutes. Diagnostic tool will automatically calculate the programming management plan, which may take a few minutes. If you only want to perform coding, please tap coding. Of course, it depends what you're doing. So hit OK. It's going through all the modules. So were control units replaced? Before the vehicle programming is started, ensure the basic requirements for trouble-free programming are met. If control units have been replaced, select the replace control units in the dialog box displayed below, or click the control unit tree on the replace control units in the collect replacement follow-up there. We didn't replace it, nothing yet, but eventually I'm going to do a video on replacing the module that goes in front of that for the AC heater module. But right now we're just going to hit no. We didn't replace any modules. We're just doing some updates. So now you got 8 sections in here for CIP, coding individualization, programming. I can't even speak today, sorry. I'm laughing. So then you go to initial report. In this step, just take, yeah, okay. In the next step, the time to determine the measures may be a little long. Please be patient. Hit OK. Steve, come on. Get over here. So, see where we're at now. Come on. System data loading. And our vehicle voltage is at 13.3. We set it to 14, 214.3. Got a little bit of a voltage drop, but we're over 13, so actually we're perfect for voltage. I'm going to pause it till we caught up. So, initial report. The initial report, this is all the modules on this car that have updates available. Airbag, engine, computer, fuel pump. So, like this one, the electronic fuel pump has an update available. We can do all these, we'll talk to the customer, but I'm going to do the electronic fuel pump control module now. So I'm going to escape out of this. You can go to vehicle details, and that's going to tell you the VIN, codes, mileage, all kinds of data, right? You can go to coding. If you're just doing coding, you can do programming coding, car key memory, retrofit conversions, special major, to change some stuff, parameters, to turn stuff on and off in the car, and then program and follow-up is after you program. There might be some other learning systems that it has to do. So if you're just doing coding, maybe this display unit just needs coding, you could hit that tab. We're going to go to programming and coding. Then there's 4 options. Scheduled update. If you click on that, that's a computerized scheduled update, which I haven't never used yet. We're not going to mess with that, but that's just some software updates that the computer, I guess it gets from the servers for BMW, determining what it needs, possibly. Yeah, so yeah, this is all your schedule, all your program and codes, kind of like the other screen. But now what we're going to do, you can update all the modules. You can select an update, selective update. So like these are pre-selected because it knows what modules need to be updated, and if you replace them, it'll program and code it. Or you can go to control unit list, and we are going to do the fuel pump driver one. That one we'll eventually have to do once we get the new part in for the AC. Electronic fuel pump control module. Then you got a diagnosis. If you click that, it brings you back to the diagnosis tab for live data tests and codes. Control unit information. It'll tell you what network it's on. Still programmable. Yes, it's unlimited. Programming date. That should change till today. This is, I don't know why that, maybe that's from the original factory. It's like some made up date there. You got coding and programming. Reset the module mode for the fuel pump control module, or reset the production mode for the fuel pump control module, and then run the power down command. So we're going to go to program, and here's your execute measures plan. So it tells you today's date and time, integration level old, integration level new. So here's the old software, here's the new software. And it's about a 1 minute program time. So it's going to program it, and then it's going to code it. And now it's all once we're going to hit OK. Now we're doing it. Network, it's got to connect, got to have a good internet connection. I'm connected to my house Wi-Fi. Network data initializing. So you can see my network. Now ensure the diagnostic tool is connected to the internet. Absolutely is. Trying to connect diagnostic tool server. Downloading files. Download completed. Press OK to continue the session after the vehicle is connected. Hit OK. And what we're doing is updating this fuel pump module. Turn off the engine. Switch on terminal 15 ignition. The vehicle voltage must be stable. Do you want to continue? Well, yeah, we're going to turn it off. Sorry, I'm trying to film and do this. We're going to turn it on. Key on engine off. We got stable voltage. We got 13.2 volts. If it's below 13, it won't do it. Hit OK. So right now it's running preparing vehicle for program running. We do not want to lose internet. .3 volts, so we're good. Still preparing it. It's got flashing time right there on the screen. I need to turn a screen recorder on this scan to. It'd be a lot easier than using a cell phone. And it's trying to get it focused. Successful for prepare. Now it's programming. So it prepared, it's successful. Now it's actually programming. There's the percentage. After that, it's going to do this other stuff and it's going to code it. So it's going to program it and then code it. It's doing it all in one. Now I could have hit just coding, but it needed a software update. So that's why I had to do the programming. It's going to automatically code it. And this guy did have electronic fuel pump control module issue. I don't know if it's a software update, but if it is, well, guess what? We're doing it now. So that's successful. Because he had a random code for that EKPS, electronic fuel pump control. So since there's a software update available, might as well go ahead and do it for him. And then I can talk to him and see if he wants to do the other modules, but we definitely want to do this one. I'm not saying this will fix this fuel pump issue, but we want to, since we have access to the database, let's go ahead and just do it. We're going to have to do the same stuff when we do the actual HVAC AC heater module. So let's keep doing its thing here. Voltage is still good, 13.3 right there. Now it's control unit mode changeover running. And here the vehicle came back online. It knows the hood's open. So that's successful. Now it's going to do coding for the EKPS, electronic fuel pump control. Now it's coding it. We programmed it, now we're coding it. Trying to get it to focus here. So it says coded, so that's good. What it's going to do now is going to run through the other stuff. It's going to check for codes, whatever other process that needs to be done. Now it's update integration level. So you can only do programming on BMW and Mercedes with the Ultra. So that part's successful. If you want to do Ford, Chevy, any of those other vehicles, you have to use a laptop with the pass-through, which I've done, and you pay, you know, it's Ford's $50 for 2 days, Chevy's $40 per van, Chrysler 96 to 09 $36.95. Newer Chryslers, well, there's like 3 different fees. It just depends on the vehicle. But Beamer, you can do right through the Ultra, which is pretty cool. And I ain't pay nothing. Well, I do, because I pay, you know, it's like $1,700 a year to update to ScanPill, so it's part of that. So our upgraded integration level successful. Run the power down command successful. Now it's media orientated system transport, storing the desired configuration it's running. And then if there's any faults, it's going to delete them there. Sometimes you get faults. You calls when programming because the module comes off and online. Steve looks real happy. You like that. You can tell by a smile. So now it's running the delete fault memories. I'll finish this up here. No, I know I have a 906 BT Autel, 906 Bluetooth. That'll do coding, but it won't do programming. So this is nice because it does the actual program, gets the software files from the server. All right, so there's the final report. The date and the time. There's the old, there's the new. So there's the old software. There's the new software. Obviously, you can see it's a higher number. There's your paint code, posture code doesn't change. Program successful, code successful, everything successful. So you hit OK. It's going to update the vehicle order. So we updated his electronic fuel pump control module. Not that's going to fix his issue, but it's nice to have the newest software just in case there was like a TSB, technical service bulletin, or something like that. Do a couple other things here and we'll be done. And our battery voltage is still maintained, 13.3, 13.4 volts. Beamer's got to be above 13. If they're not, it'll tell you and it won't let you go any farther. Everything came back online. Man, that glare's bad. Let me pause it while it loads this data. All right, so it loaded the data. So now we're in the electronic fuel pump control. We could go to diagnosis. It did run the power down. It coded it, programmed it. Program coded, ran the power down. Everything's good. Yeah, so let me actually go back out of this quick. Sometimes there's follow-up stuff, program follow-up routine. There may or may not be for this one. We'll take a look here. I'm not going to worry about none of that. So, all right, so what I did now is I backed out and I went back into the CIP, coding individualization and programming. I don't know why I cannot say that word. Initial report, and the actual fuel pump module should not be in here now, and it is not. There's all these other modules that need software updates, but the fuel pump one is done because we just did it. So if you go back into programming coding, control unit list, the electronic fuel pump, if we go to control unit information, there's the date. Program date, 2021, July 13th. So yeah, it's all updated for that module. Like I said, some modules you got to go and do follow-up routines, but what we did is we programmed the module because it had a new software update. We coded it. It did a bunch of other stuff. It checked for codes. Some modules you got to do program follow-up. You got to look at service data. It'll tell you if you need to do that or not. But that is it for now. This kind of intermediate video between another video I did on this car, which troubleshot down the bad AC heater module. Circuit board was bad. Right, there's a whole video on that. It's like 46 minutes long, but we got a new one of these coming in from eBay because it's like 120 bucks. The whole thing from Beamer's like 2,500. So when we get that in, we'll program it, code it, and this thing will be good to go for this 2015 BMW 428i.